Hey, get back here. So, I want to talk about turkey trotters today and which ones I think you should do. Now, I apologize for not streaming. I'm a little under the weather, but I want to get this video out. I wanted to also wait till after the games are played today, so in case anyone got injured, I'll know you to avoid that. I think if last year somebody got injured, right, and EA refunded the set, if I recall correctly, but EA will make it up. This is being recorded during the Bears game, so Eddie Jackson, if he gets hurt, just don't do him. So, in the Harvest, there are the turkey trotters here, 6 sets for 6 players. I went through, looked at their stats compared to what they're going to get here and the potential chance. I'm going to give you a percentage chance that they're going to reach each level. I'll then talk about the stats that they could get if they reach that 93 level, and then kind of give you a breakdown about which one is my favorite to do and which one to go with. With these 93s, I also should mention, right now the cheapest 93 is 276,000 coins. So that's Melvin Gordon. Otherwise, every single other 93 except for 2. So there's 3 93s under 300k. The rest go over, and then some easily get over 500k. Adrian Amos, a 93 strong safety, is 600k. Now, you could say that's maybe set cost from Team of the Week, but, 93 free safety that will look a lot like Amos, with Amos at 600k right now for his card, because a lot of the ones that are under 300k, we got pass rushers and fullbacks and halfbacks, like Legends, Team of the Week, Melvin Gordon, halfback. So halfbacks aren't valued that much in this game. Otherwise, there's some good return on the set if they potentially hit. That's the problem. It's a risk. We don't know. So 60 items for these. We also got to take that into account when you're doing these things versus the 40 set item if you're going to do the potluck pack, which we all know is kind of a waste, or just convert it into gold. And you can take the safe route by turning these into gold and then turning that gold into coins on the market. Or take a risk, go ahead, try it, whatever, YOLO, that's what life's for. But potential great payoff. If one of these players does hit, if you want to get one of them, the very best time to get them, especially if they go up to 93, is exactly when they release, because that's when all of the supply hits the market. So if all the supply hits the market, that means that's it right there. That's all the supply of it's going to happen. You'll never get more down the road. More won't be coming out of packs. So if you want to buy it right away, right when they open it up, the floodgates, because I'd expect, especially if Galladay goes up, becomes one of the best receivers in the game, a flood of supply, and they'll be like, oh wow, I should get that. So I can see, because the demand will stay flat for great wide receivers, but the supply will never increase. So with 100% supply and then no supply, that means prices will just go up until maybe better cards release and the entire market sinks. But I can see these going up. I think last year some of them went up 100% in a day. So make sure to get on, try and snipe them right away. It was a good investment. We'll see this again on Black Friday. We'll talk about that on Market Monday tomorrow. So let's get right into it. We'll talk about Galladay first. So 40 receiving yards and 93 receiving, or 93 for the 100 receiving yards. Sorry, can't speak. I think the 40 receiving yards, so he's kind of the number one in Detroit now. He's been having a good year. He's been coming on. I think he got over 100 yards the first game and this last game. So I would say over 40 receiving yards. He's been shut out a few times, be the number one. He could be focused at and looked at. I'll give an 80% chance at reaching that 91. For the 93, though, I'm going to give him a 30% chance at reaching 100 receiving yards. You never know. 100 receiving yards is kind of tough to get. He's only gotten it twice so far this year. So, but if he hits a 93 overall, he'll essentially be a better Randy Moss. 6'4" speed. I think he'll probably get up to 91 speed. He's 88 right now at a 90 and 93, maybe 91 speed. So he'll have height. He'll have good speed, good route running. But the only downside would be his run block at that point. But overall, I think his projected 93 value. I think that this will be the best 93 if they all reach 93. This is the number one 93 out there if he can reach that potential. All right, next up, Eddie Jackson. Like I said, make sure he's not injured before you do him. 3 solo tackles. I'd say that's a 75% chance at happening. He's hit that quite a few times. He missed it a few times also this year. 6 solo tackles, much harder to hit for him. I think he's only gotten that once or maybe twice if I recall. I'm thinking about, I remember all the stats off the top of my head. So I put 15% chance of getting 6 solo tackles, which are different than the total tackles that Campbell has at the bottom. But we'll get to him in a second. So 6 solo tackles is going to be kind of hard to get. But as for his 93, though, he's already pretty fast. He's only 6 foot, but I think if he gets up to 93, he'll be one of the faster of over 90 speed. He's already got 90 hit power, so he'll move fast. He's got good zone coverage, and he's got good hit power. Exactly what you want out of a safety, in my opinion, in this game. Basically, that's what you use a safety for, right? Zone coverage, speed, and hitting people. So he'll be right up there. He'll be like a Ronnie Lott-esque type player. Next up is Byron Jones, who has a chance for 1+ pass defended to get to 91 and an interception to get up to 93. Now, his pass defended, he'll probably get about a 60% chance at doing that because he's done a few games, more than half of the games he's had pass defended, but not like every game. And then an interception, he hasn't had an interception in a long time, so I'd put his interception chance at like 8-10% maybe. It's been a little bit since he's had an interception, so that's a little bit of a riskier play for him to go up to the 93. So projected, and then his stats himself, he's a 90 speed cornerback at 90 overall, so maybe that goes up to 93 at a 93. But basically, he doesn't have a lot of tackling. He could jump through the roof, as we saw with this combine result. But if he hits those goals, this guy's gonna be like another Deion Sanders basically back there. We have a lot of great cover corners. This one could very well be another one if he does end up hitting that goal, because he can get some really nice stats at 93 overall that you'll want to have on your roster, especially if you're a Cowboys fan and maybe you have a Cowboys theme team. Yeah, Byron would do very well for you at corner. All right, next up, Vernon Davis. So I would say Byron, projected 93 value. Yeah, okay, we'll go into Vernon at like number 4, probably for his projected 93 value if they all hit it. Vernon Davis, 2 catches. I give him 50% chance of getting 2 catches. He hasn't had a ton of 2-catch games this year. 5 catches. That's going to be rough. I'll put that at another 8% chance at 5 catches. Not really a huge target, kind of in the twilight of his career. But he does have 86 speed on the 90 overall. So if you go +3, an 89 speed tight end, pretty glitchy. That's right up there. That's like Kittle speed. That's wide receiver speed. Better than a lot of wide receivers out there. So great for clear outs. A lot of tight ends are used for clear outs. A lot of my offense relied on the tight end clear out too. But he's not, he's not a wonderful run blocker. He's okay. He's not going to hold down LT though. But he could easily make a large percentage of teams if he hits that 93 overall goal. Next up, Mark Ingram. I think he probably has the best chance out of anyone of getting his goals. 40 rushing yards. I think that's I'd say probably 60% based off his use through the year. But it seems like it's trending upwards for the Saints offense, right? They're just dominant. So 40 rushing yards, not too terrible to get. 100 rushing yards. He's gotten that twice this year in a few games. How many has he played? 6. So not bad. I would still say 30% chance of getting that 100 rushing yards. It's pretty good chance if he gets to a 93. I'd say better than like I said, a lot of the other ones. Him and Galladay are pretty close to the same percentage wise to get that 100. But the thing is, the problem with him is that his 93, what's he going to be special over a Ricky Williams? He doesn't really stand out one stat. Not a great catching back, more of a pure runner, not like a burner though for Mutt. So he's a lot like Ricky Williams, and even if you have a Saints theme team, you'll just put Ricky there anyway. So I don't think there's a reason to go out and put your items into the Ingram set unless you really want to. And again, 60 items for probably something that's going to match Melvin Gordon for price. I don't know. I don't think that one's worth it. That might be my worst value. I think that's the worst one to do is Ingram, even though he's got a very good chance of getting his goals. Last one, Devondre Campbell. The 4 tackles, I would say that's a really good chance of happening. I'd put that at 80% chance. He's had a couple games with a few, then 4 total tackles. But then 8 tackles, that's a little tougher to do. That's having a really good day. I put that down at 20%. And then the issue is his stats right now. He's a very balanced linebacker, which isn't good in Mutt because you want to be to the top edge of either a coverage linebacker or a rushing linebacker to really do your job well. Because if you do 2 jobs okay and not 1 job well, you're just gonna get blown out by the offensive lineman or the running backs that can spin you out or anything. They'll block you. Your zone won't react very well. The wide receivers flying past you. So you really, because there's a lot of specialized tools and a lot of guys that know how to use those specialized tools. So one that's just kind of like a dull fork, knife, spoon won't really play very well. But if he gets up to 93, they give him a decent speed stat boost, give him zone boost, don't give him too much pass rush boost, but basically boost up the coverage linebacker spot. I can see him being a very nice 4-3 outside linebacker. But if they boost up that, 84 finesse or something, another 3, and then they give him another 3 to another spots. Like, they don't really boost him up that much to get that overall. I don't see him really playing very well for you, so he's like my 5th projected value. So if I'm doing these sets, I think my number 1 is Galladay. I would do him most of all because I think he has the best, chance of being amazing and valuable and going for a lot of coins, being a 93 overall, 6'4" wide receiver. I think Vernon Davis, he's got, if he hits it, he's number 2 for value, but I think he's got a very low chance of getting those 5 catches. So I would move him down a little bit. My second choice, I think I would go with Eddie Jackson here as my second choice to do, because while 6 holes tackles are tough, I think the payoff is great for a free safety that can run and can hit. My number 3, I would probably put Byron and Devondre. They're similar, but I go Byron there at number 3. My number 4 would be Vernon. I might go with Vernon above Byron, but I go so Vernon would be 4. 5 would Campbell, 6 is Ingram. That's based off like what percentage chance I can get them versus what their value would be, versus all of it together, their final stats that are projected. That is it. That is my list, and of course all these are amateurs and compared to Taiwan being number 1 overall. So that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think I'm off? Do you think I'm on? Are you guys gonna do this set? Are you just gonna sell yours for gold? Are you just gonna take the money and run? So let me know. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.